Unicorns and glitter and taxidermy critters are just some of the things they like. They also enjoy 80s hair bands, Grizzly Adams and John Goodman, so if you think that's weird then you can take a hike. But the things they enjoy the most are making art and cracking jokes, so without further ado, here are your hosts. You've got your two artsy gals, your two artsy gals. Here are your two artsy gals.
Listeners, oh my god, it's so hot up in here. I hope that you guys have AC where you're at, because I do not have it where I'm at. It's making me really bitchy. How do you like that? Big important reminder at the top of the show. This is your last chance to win one of the 2 Mod Podge starter packs we're giving away. You need to follow us on Instagram or on Twitter to be put in the drawing. We will do 2 drawings. If you win one on Instagram, you cannot win one on Twitter, and vice versa, because you can only win one. We are 2 artsy gals in both places, so make sure that you go follow us there if you would like your name in the hat. Let's see. Speaking of social media, we are also on the Facebook. We also have a Pinterest, so go follow us in those places, and it will be awesome and fun all the time. If you would like to contact us via old-fashioned email, you can do that at 2artsygals@gmail.com. Tell us some things. Send us pictures of the cool art that you've done. Ask us questions. Give us suggestions for future episodes. Tell us that we're super awesome and you love us. You know, just things. If you would rather, you can just pick up your little phony phone that you're listening to this on and call us at 503-395-7190 and leave us a voice message, and we might even play your voice on the show. Sing us a song. We love it when people call and sing us songs. My mom does that periodically. What else? Ooh, you can subscribe to this podcast through iTunes, Google Play. You can use the Stitcher app, and you can also use the Podomatic app, which will allow you to listen to thousands of other Podomatic podcasters. You can search through there. It's a very cool app, and you should get that. All those apps are free that you use to listen to the podcast, so wherever you listen to us, we always appreciate that you are doing so. If you would like to support the show, you can do it in a few ways. This is a 100% listener-supported podcast, so what we can't get through donations, we have to pay for out of pocket. And sometimes that really sucks to do. So you can donate money to us through our website, 2artsygals.com. There is a PayPal donate button. You can do a one-time donation, or you can set it up to do a monthly small donation, whatever. $5, whatever. Any amount is awesome, and we so appreciate the support that our listeners give to us. If you would prefer to send us something from our Amazon wish list, you can also do that. I try to keep the Amazon wish list current with things that we would like to talk about in the future, but we don't necessarily have the money to buy and experiment with out of pocket. So you can look through there, and if there's something cool, you can just send it to us. That is also on our website, 2artsygals.com, and there is a little button that says Amazon wishlist, and you can go there. And if you do not have the ability to support us monetarily, then just spread the word about 2 Artsy Gals. Tell your friends, tell your family, share it on your Facebook, share it on your Twitter, tweet about it, tweet, and tell people that you love us, and they should love us too. All right, I'm going to let you get to the show, and I hope you're all staying cool this weekend. Hey everybody, this is Katie.
And this is Lonnie.
And you're listening to 2 Artsy Gals. Yay! Oh my god. It's hot as fuck in Portland.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like like I said earlier, I feel like I'm overreacting right now. I'm
because
preemptively
I'm not
upset.
Yeah,
but
I'm
it's
not
hot.
sweaty.
It's going to be gross. We're going to be in triple digits. And from people who are not from Portland, I know, like, people that regularly get
the rest
high
of the country has
temperatures.
been getting their butt kicked with heat this summer.
Well, it's a little bit different here when it's like that when we have triple digits.
It's really
Portland
oppressive.
has some weird, it's like very oppressive. We get a level of humidity that is not okay.
Yeah.
Although we are going to have east wind, which is never a good sign. So we're going to have wildfires because that always is what happens. Oh my
yep.
God. Speaking of heat and dry weather, I walked out on my porch the other day and someone from the apartments. So we have this like apartment building on the other side of us. Someone was either on the neighbor, like our porch looks at their porch, or above, threw a fucking cigarette butt into our new goddamn bark dust in our flower bed.
Was it smoldering?
Yes.
Fuck.
And I was like, hello, it is dry as fuck.
Yeah.
And now brand new bark dust. And you know when it's hot outside and the bark dust smells like hot bark dust?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just afraid it's going to fucking spontaneously combust in the front goddamn yard.
I know. Yeah, I hate that.
Or like someone's going to like spark with their car when they go by. There's going to be like a spark out somebody's tailpipe or some shit. And then I'm going to like come home and my house is going to be burned down.
Right.
It pissed me off. I'd like to know who's doing that.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers.
They should use an
Don't
ashtray.
throw your fucking cigarette butts in my shit.
There's so many things you can use as an ashtray.
And even when I was a smoker, like I'm the stinkiest person in the world because I would put out my cigarettes and stick them in my purse rather than throw them on the ground. Like I was not a litter bug with my smoking.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a bad thing.
At one festival somewhere, I got this cool little, they were handing out these containers to put your butts in so that you could stick, stick your cigarette butt in there and then keep it in your, put it in your pocket, put it in your purse.
Don't litter your cigarette butt, smokers.
I know.
Come
I
on.
was kind of a cigarette litterer for a
When
while.
I was a kid, I was. Like when I first started smoking, I would just like, when I was in high school, like we would go out to the bleachers and smoke. And then we would just stomp out our cigarette butts out there because we didn't care. Because,
Yeah.
teenagers are jerks, basically. Just a bunch of fucking assholes.
I'll never forget, though, as a kid, kicking a cigarette butt down the aisle at the grocery store. Because people used to be able to smoke at Safeway.
People smoked in the grocery stores.
Isn't that
People
so
smoked
weird?
in doctor's office waiting rooms. People smoked in, like, fucking hospital waiting rooms.
It's so weird to me now.
People smoked in airports.
Yeah,
People smoked on air. I have never been
airplanes?
on a flight where people were allowed to smoke.
I
feel like that
going
went
to
away
Amsterdam.
in like the maybe 80s or early 90s.
Yeah, because I flew in the early 90s and I could
I
smoke.
think it was just after that, but
Yeah.
the thought of being stuck in a tube of people smoking, even as a smoker,
I know.
kind of fucking freaks me out.
But they sit in the back, so, you're
Yeah,
fine.
well, yeah, right?
Because it's back there. So, you're not.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I have enough trouble flying. Like, I know we've discussed it on the podcast before. I have to take Valium. I can't just get on a plane and fly.
Yeah.
Valium. And even that, sometimes I have to add a fucking drink to that. Because
Well, yeah.
I break out in hives.
Oh.
From, like, my neck to my knees. I get big, horrible hives when I fly. And my cheeks get a little blotchy, too.
Oh.
Like, even though I'm, like, maybe... Okay, I never appear exteriorly cool and calm. But I'm hanging.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay. I'm
Just
scared.
boiling on the inside.
But I'm doing things. But I'm, like, trying to keep it in check so I don't get, like, tasered by a fucking air marshal or some shit. So, I just guess it all pops out. Like, and the first time I did that, it was...
Wow.
I was always scared to fly, but after I had August, it got worse. So, and the
You're a
first,
mama now.
yeah, and the first time I got hives was the first time that we flew with August. We went to Utah to visit my ex-husband's grandparents, and we landed, and my son's dad turned around and goes, "What the hell's wrong with your neck?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "It's all red and blotchy." And then I was like, "Oh no." And then I pulled out my shirt and I was like, "Oh my God." And when we got to his grandparents' house, like, and we were getting ready for bed, he's like, "Holy shit, they're all over your stomach and your legs. Turn around." And they were all over my back and they itched so fucking bad. So,
wow. It's amazing what our bodies
yeah.
Our bodies do weird stuff.
They do weird shit, our bodies.
It's amazing.
Sometimes our bodies are dicks.
Yeah. Seriously.
Sometimes our brains are total dicks.
Well, yeah, it's our brain doing that to our body. That's what's amazing to me. Just nervousness creates, it's weird. Amazing.
It's like you build up so much fight or flight and nothing happens.
Yeah.
So you're just like, boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
Here's some hives for you.
Polka dots.
Hi, Doodah. If you hear panting, it's Doodah.
He's so cute.
I shut him in here today because he's been so barky lately.
Barky dog.
Like bad. Our neighbors are moving out and he's very agitated. First and foremost because he loves our neighbors. Like the people on the other half of our duplex. He loves all the girls that live over there. And also they've had like the one that had her junk truck came yesterday. And strangers have been helping them move boxes in and out. And there are different vehicles coming and going. So basically all he does is stand on my bed and bark from the time he wakes up in the morning until activity ceases next door.
Oh, boy.
And somebody's already rented the place next door. So as soon as they move in, all the shit's going to start. Like, he's going to bark again forever. Now I'm nervous about getting a new neighbor.
I know. That's so hard.
It's different when they're attached to you. Like, you know, we're in a duplex, so they're on the other side of us. So, and we have to share a yard with them.
Yeah.
So I'm worried about if they have a dog, what kind of dog they have. Like, my dog's old and weird.
Yeah.
He thinks we've lived in this house for 7 years. This is his yard. He does not understand that we get to share it with other people.
Right.
So, yeah. That's what's going on in my house right now. Lonnie, how was your trip to the coast?
It was good. It was very mellow. I flew a kite. That was fun.
I saw that.
Yeah, I flew a kite. And ate some yummy fish and good clam chowder.
Mm-hmm.
And went and...
Fish Peddler at Pacific Oysters in Bay City, guys. If you are on the Oregon coast, go there and have some delicious chowder.
Oh, man. And Cape Mears is cool.
Yes.
It's so pretty. Oh, my gosh. And that stubby little lighthouse, that was kind of funny.
Yeah, it's neat.
It's a little shorty. And, yeah, I liked it. Went into that wacky... There was some wacky store where this guy had tons and tons of prints. He has a bunch of birdhouses outside. It's in Rockaway.
It wasn't Flamingo Gems.
No.
Because that's crazy. It's full of all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah. This was like, and he had antiques. He had these healing wands. I think he was kind of offended that I asked about them because I was like, "Oh, what are those?" Because it was like a quartz crystal on the end of this. Like, I was like, "Ooh, are those magic wands?" And he was kind of like, "Those are healing sticks." You know, he was like, some people take that very seriously.
Like, bitch, please.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm
mess with
sorry,
my
I'm not
stuff.
trying to insult you. I wanted to look at them, but I could tell he was not going to let me touch them because I would screw up the energy of the thing, you know. But I got this really cool print there that's a skeleton of a harpy. And it's like a diagram.
Oh, I'm super jealous.
they had a Pegasus, they had mermaids, and it was like the skeleton and then like identifying all the...
Where is this store at? I don't know. I don't go down that far on the coast very often.
And it's like this little shack looking place with all these birdhouses out front.
I'm going to have to go look. Yeah,
It's
that's
wacky.
hilarious. Because I grew up in Bay City and we're like, oh, I don't want to drive all the way to Rockaway. Like,
It's so close.
But it's not when you live in Bay City. You're like, well, that's going to be like 40 minutes of my life. Because Highway 101, you go through
That's
Garibaldi.
true.
It's like 25 miles an hour. And then
That's true.
Like, there's just all these slow as fuck parts of the
That's true.
freeway.
That's funny.
When I was a kid, I didn't care. Like, let's go to Rockaway. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh, I've seen it all. I don't want to go to fucking Rockaway.
Yeah. I don't think Rockaway is one of the more exciting coastal cities, but it's
No, because
cute.
everything closes but the bars at like 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then you're done. Like, there used to be, I don't know, is there still an arcade in Rockaway? There were 2 when I was in high school.
I don't remember seeing one, but
the place right on the beach where you pull up and park, that blue thing there, that blue building used to be an arcade.
oh wow.
And then there's one that's a bar now. So, all right, I'm going to let you out, but if you fucking bark, I'm going to make you come back.
There was a bar, and I think it was Garibaldi that called the Ghost Hole, and that looked funny
Oh,
to
yeah,
me.
the Ghost Hole Tavern.
I was like, we should go to the Ghost Hole.
That's
We
full of some
never
crusty
did.
old timers.
Yeah, I bet.
Yep. Oh, man. Because the Ghost Hole is actually a fishing hole. It's named after. Just a fly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we've been doing.
Ghost Hole.
ghost hole. Now I'm thinking of ghost vaginas.
I know.
Oh, we're so disgusting, Lonnie. I wonder, you could paint a cool ghost hole on velvet.
I
You
just
guys-
had this image of like a shimmery vagina.
all like,
Or vulva, pardon me.
oh, stop it.
Get my
okay, here's the thing that I have.
Correct.
I am not a feminist because I think you need to simmer the fuck down about shit like that. Because here's the thing. Yes,
Technically,
everybody knows that a vagina is made of various parts. Like, your vagina technically is your vaginal opening.
Right.
And you have your labia majora, labia minora, you have your clitoris, and you have your piss flap, whatever the fuck that's called. I know what it's called. But here's the thing. We don't go around calling penises by all their parts. We call
That's
it a
true.
penis, but a penis has a shaft. They have the head. They have all kinds of little weird parts that are different names, and the foreskin. And we don't say, guys don't go, oh, I've smashed my foreskin, or oh,
my shaft.
my shaft is chafed from doing too much sex. You call it a penis.
Yeah.
So just fucking relax.
Okay.
Like, we don't have to be so goddamn politically correct about everything. It's a vagina, and we all get that the vagina has parts.
Okay.
So I'm not saying this to you. I'm saying it to the world.
Okay.
Simmer the fuck down.
Okay.
There are more important things to get riled up about than the parts of the vagina. That's it. I went through a phase where I did vagina drawings and paintings.
Yeah.
Yep. Early
Wow.
2000s.
It was a thing.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I made a couple for a couple people, and they were like, thank you. I'm sure that they're in their garbage or attic or...
You're like, isn't it beautiful? It's like a flower.
Yeah, I really was going through my girl power phase. I call it my Lilith Fair phase.
I was trying to think of that name. I was
I was having a Lilith Fair
Yep,
phase. It
yep.
started when, like, late 90s to the very, very... Well, yeah, late 90s. I think I was done with it by the 2000s, but...
pussy power.
Pussy power. I was also still a 90s hippie.
Yeah.
I was all crunchy with granola and all that shit. So, that I have since gotten over. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still kind of a hippie about some things, but, I stopped being the stereotype.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did draw some vaginas, but I did not paint any on velvet.
No, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, we're talking about velvet paintings. Lonnie and I had plans for this episode. We really did.
I really want to
After
do
we recorded
one.
last time, we went to Joanne's directly after lunch, and we didn't really find anything. Like, I was hoping to find like a velvet painting kits, and I did find some on Amazon, but they were like $26.
Yeah.
And I couldn't justify that. I just felt like, well, that's a lot of money. Like $26 times 2, that's like over $50. That's a lot of money and shit. But I did some research about velvet paintings for y'all. So you can make your own decisions about doing it. I do want to try.
Yeah.
I'm
curious about, there must be some certain technique.
I'm having this weird, like, I wish that they could see the weird shit that I do with my hands. I like rub my fingertips together because I'm a very tactile person. And the things I touch, I feel on my teeth. Like, it's weird. Like, I can feel it in my mouth somehow. Maybe it's connected to my weird oral fixation of, like, putting shiny, smooth things in my mouth. I don't know. But I would imagine it would feel cool to be painting, like,
on velvet,
the pile of velvet.
Yeah,
like,
but I think
like
it would be hard to get crisp lines.
Well, there are tricks that you can do. We're going to talk about them.
Hoping there was.
There were some tricks. I know, and it's kind of funny because our next episode is going to be on macrame. So I feel like we're visiting like the 70s.
Yeah.
So this is like our trip back in time. We got in our TARDIS and went to the 70s. I just made a Doctor Who reference. I'm sorry. Lonnie's looking at me like, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I do. I know what a TARDIS is.
All right. So
I have one.
You have a TARDIS?
Mm-hmm.
For real?
No.
Oh, I was going to say I want one. I wanted to paint the door to my office like as a TARDIS, but we rent. So I'm pretty sure the homeowner would be like, no TARDISes for you.
Yeah. You could probably maybe find a cardboard cutout.
They make door decals too.
Oh, yeah.
I know how that would work, though, because my door's not flat.
Nope.
It's got, like, things.
Fancy.
It's got bumpy stuff on it. Unless you, like, have been living in a cave for the last 5 decades.
And you cave paint.
And you only cave paint with paints that you've made by mashing berries. Or using animal bloods, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
my paper's flopping around. We have the fan on. So, you probably already know what a velvet painting is. But just in case you don't know what a velvet painting is, quite literally, it is a painting done on velvet.
Yes.
As opposed to canvas or paper or what the fuck ever. You stretch velvet over your canvas frame or your frame stretcher, and you paint on it. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
But here's some things. Okay. Velvet paintings kind of have a stigma because, I mean, Lonnie and I are joking about them and all this shit. And, like, you know, like the Keen paintings with, like, the big old, those crazy fucking big eye girls.
Or there's clown
and then,
ones.
no, don't talk to me. Dude, I was researching this and I'm like, why? Mm-hmm. Why all the fucking clowns? Mm-hmm. What is wrong with people?
I know.
Like, stop.
Yeah.
Clowns are not something that you want to hang on your wall. Who... if I meet you and I come to your house and you have a picture of a clown on the wall, we cannot be friends. Like, no matter how awesome I think you are, until that moment, if I go into your home and you have a painting of a clown on your wall, I'm going to think something's wrong with you. Like, deep down inside, fundamentally wrong. And I will go, I'm sorry, I cannot be your friend. And I'm going to turn around and I'm going to fucking leave. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, it is weird that there was so many on velvet.
I dated a guy once, and when I went to the house he grew up in, it was full of clowns. His mom had, like, clowns everywhere, and I was like, so yeah,
geez.
This isn't gonna work out.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of let him down gently a few dates later, but he was raised by someone who has a house full of clowns.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember on Joe Dirt? The movie Joe Dirt? At the end, when they actually meet his real parents, and she has, like, this clown collection.
Oh, God.
That she sells clowns, and she's, like, fucking weird. That's what this guy's mom was like.
Oh, no.
She was kind of like Howard Wolowitz's mom, like that voice that is very grating. And she was just, like, she was crazy. And I thought, this really explains a lot about some odd behaviors that I have witnessed from this guy. And so that was my out. Seriously, I was like, I'm sorry.
Good thing. Yeah.
But my little 19-year-old brain couldn't take it, and I had to go. Actually, I think I was still 18. He was the first guy that I dated legit after I left home.
Wow.
But I'd actually kind of dated him. We had summer fling every summer because he would go down and visit his grandparents, so I knew him from there.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to Portland, I called him up, and I was like, hey, I live in Portland. So then we got a little bit more serious, and then I met his mom, and then I actually really crushed him too. That was pretty bad.
Oh,
I was just like, it was more than the clowns, but the clowns were like the nail in the coffin. I was like, oh no, none of this is fixable.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so he's gonna inherit that shit someday.
Yeah, I don't want it. He's gonna inherit the house because he's the only son. His mother doted on him. So he's getting a house full of fucking clowns. I don't want a house full of fucking clowns.
No way.
Like, I don't want to have that marital fight. I'm sure there were velvet paintings and clowns in that house that I just didn't see.
Yeah.
There was a sad clown on the on the wall in front of the toilet. So when you went pee, you had to look at the sad hobo clown.
Oh my gosh. No. Yeah.
It was a very 70s style painting, actually.
Yes.
It was just not on velvet.
Those were so popular back then. I don't know why.
As we've mentioned, it kind of gained popularity in the 60s and 70s, and we're going to go back to that and talk about why. But
so velvet paintings have a white trash reputation, don't they?
They do, but velvet paintings have actually been around for much longer than that. Like, painting on velvet has been around for centuries.
Oh, okay.
But here's the shitty thing. The interwebs is so full of ironic velvet paintings that people do now, or examples of velvet paintings from the 60s and 70s, that I could not find examples to show on the blog.
Oh, wow.
On the website for this episode of older, more historic velvet paintings.
Yeah.
But it's been literally centuries. Velvet has been a thing. People have been painting on velvet for a long time.
Wow.
So, know that. And it actually had its first rise in popularity a little bit in the Victorian area, because the Victorians like some funky shit.
Yeah.
Well, and women did...
Were they more like fruit bowls and stuff?
Yeah, like more... Women in the Victorian era were expected to do domestic hobbies. They painted, you made lace, you did hair weaving, you did all kinds of stuff. Like, you were expected to, and to crochet and knit and sew. Like, that is what women were expected to do. That's what proper Victorian women, because you know why they did that? They couldn't breathe because of their corsets. That's why. They couldn't move. They were too busy being all fucking whale boned up under their titties that they couldn't fucking move. That's why. That's what I think. So it makes sense to me that, like, velvet painting was a thing, because it was kind of like their own Victorian era kitsch.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with velvet painting now, is that it has such a kitschy, weird reputation.
Yes.
Because, I mean, really, come on. Clowns?
Yeah.
Just go back to that again, but...
Matadors.
Yes. So, actually...
Poodles.
There was oh my god, the poodles. They all look demonic. There is a famous velvet painting artist, and his pieces at one time in the, like, 40s and 50s went for like $20,000 or more.
Wow.
Like, he was very serious. His name is Edgar, I'm going to pronounce Letigue. I don't know. It's Leeteg. But he lived in Tahiti, and he used, like, the native women, the local women, as models, and he did these really beautiful portraits of the Tahitian women in their, like, in the nature.
Wow.
In the beauty. And he actually lived there for, like, I have I'll put a link up to a website about him that has his history. He actually died tragically there in a motorcycle accident in his 50s. It was like 1953, I think, when he passed away.
Oh.
And in the years after that is when his velvet paintings began to take such, like, big prices. But really, he started out as a sign painter in the United States and went broke after his father, who was German, went back to Germany, and then he and his mother went to Tahiti with paints and paintbrushes that he stole from the sign company that he worked for. And that's when he started painting down there. And he just became this, like, famous guy. So there is,
wow.
And they are very beautiful portraits. I mean, I think part of what lends them, like, makes them look so kitschy, or lends them to the kitschier subject matter, is because the colors on the black background pop so, like, all the colors look so vibrant in contrast to the black velvet.
Yes.
And the shading is different.
Yeah.
Like, so, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about why it's so different. But I think that all paintings on black velvet now, especially because they're associated with this weird kitsch of the 60s and 70s, I feel like I think we're kind of programmed to think that they're kitschy. Do you know what I mean? Like, we associate
we don't take them as serious art.
But seriously, you guys, they're beautiful paint. Like, someone is still using their skill to paint a beautiful painting.
Right. Yeah. And it just looks different because of the background.
Yeah. So, and as you mentioned, matadors, there's a reason that association, like, of matadors and more Mexican type, like the dancers, flamenco dancers, that's what I was trying to think of. Mm-hmm. And mariachis and stuff like that, is because when velvet paintings kind of had their resurgence starting in the late 60s and early 70s, it was because specifically in Tijuana, there were a group of artists who started whipping out velvet paintings for tourists.
Okay.
And people would buy them and the reason the subject matter is because they wanted something that looked like it was from Mexico that they could take back home with them.
Yeah,
so
okay.
people were
That
bringing
makes sense.
these like crazy velvet paintings home from Mexico. And because they were being done quickly, like, you know, they were speed painting. They're cranking art out to be sold for like fucking $20 a pop. Maybe not even, I'm sure not even that then, you know, $10 a pop to tourists. So they're not going to be fucking masterpieces.
Yeah.
They're just cranking them out so that people can buy them.
Right.
So yeah, that's what brought it back to the US and made people start getting them. And then you get into like the artists with the fucking crazy big-eyed, scary, like the big-eyed alien looking kitty cats. I actually like those ones.
Yeah.
But Keane and other artists of the time. And it is what it is today. Like, I think people still look at velvet paintings and associate them with those weird-ass, quite frankly, a little creepy paintings.
Yes.
Don't you think they were creepy?
Yes.
Well, upsettingly so.
Sasquatch on the toilet.
Oh my god! Put that on our Pinterest. I want a painting of Sasquatch on the toilet. You know I love a Sam Squinch. That's what you're doing over there, Lonnie.
I know. I was looking at velvet paintings on Google Images.
And I sent you the link to that webpage with all the Google paintings.
Yeah, the Bat Boy one.
Yes.
I liked the Bat Boy one. It made me laugh.
So there are artists currently who do velvet paintings, and it's really cool to me because now some of them are still trying to do the ironic kitschy shit.
Yeah.
Just because they're being ironic and kitschy.
Bernie Sanders and Hillary with unicorn horns.
I didn't, but they're almost like caricatures, like they're doing. But there are also artists who are doing real portraits and doing real paintings.
Yeah.
And I actually found a local artist, Lonnie. And it's kind of my goal, one of my goals in life, to get him on the show as a guest or to go interview him.
Is he the one that has the museum or whatever?
Yes, his name is Chris Henry.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to put a link to his website, but he does have a velvet painting museum. And he does, he does Steve Buscemi and...
Nice.
Like, there's portraits of famous people. I can't remember if he's the one that did There's a Slee Stack that somebody did. I think that was on the other website that I showed you. I was really excited, but they're very well done, artistically done portraits, and they're just fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're cool. I want a velvet painting in my house.
I know. I wish I could do one. I mean, like, some of them, it's like the lighting. I mean, I know this is a naked lady, but it's beautiful lighting that you can get with it. Or, you know.
Yeah, and you can get gorgeous detail.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
So, oh my god, and there is a website.
Yeah, like, this is pretty crazy, the Bernie and the Hillary with the unicorn
I didn't
horns.
even see that one. That's a little, I'm not even going to lie, that's kind of creeping me out.
Yeah, I don't.
Because their unicorn horns look a little fleshy.
Yeah.
I don't like fleshy horns. I don't. That's gross.
Yeah.
Ooh, a flesh horn. Now I'm just thinking of different things you can call a penis. Get your flesh horn away from me. Put your flesh horn in your pants.
Don't point that thing at me.
We're gross. Why do we always go to genitalia? Today we're talking about penises and vaginas, but we're just using velvet paintings as an excuse.
Because I think of ghost hole.
Ghost hole and flesh penis.
I know.
Riding again. Literally. Ew. Okay, sorry guys. That was super gross. There is a website. There's a little tutorial about velvet painting that I just found
pretty
it
fascinating.
on,
You can make it look shiny. Like, I don't even know how to,
Well, Chubby Bunny Art, which I had never seen before, but I happened upon it, and they did a step-by-step and showed you how they did a painting of a Boston Terrier with human breasts. Yeah, I know. You look long enough on the internet and you're like, what?
Wow.
It's still furry, but it has people breasts, and it's look that up.
Oh.
Just do
Terrier with boobs, or?
Yeah, Boston. I think I put it on our Pinterest board, actually. I'm going to try to pull this up for Lonnie because it is fucking hilarious. I'm so sing-songy today. What day am I not, though, really? Okay.
I don't know why Google didn't autocomplete Terrier with breasts. I mean...
But down here.
Oh my god, that is right? Wonderful. You guys have to go to the Pinterest and look at it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I might even put this on the website.
That is amazing.
So just know that if you look for something or research something long enough, you're gonna find shit like fucking who paints a Boston Terrier with boobs? It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I would hang that on my wall.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah. It's funny.
I think that my husband would be upset by it. Because, you know,
yeah,
he doesn't really have much of a sense of humor when it comes to things like that.
I know. I don't know if Scott... Well, I mean, that's a pretty hilarious, like, man cave painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Kurt wants me to give, like, that's where I bought this thing. Did we talk about the crying towel?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so Kurt wants me to frame that for him so he can hang it in his man cave.
Well, there you go.
So why is that any, like, less funny than... A dog with people boobs.
That is...
It's hilarious.
How do you... I just am always amazed by how people think these things up. You know, I'm going to do a thing today, and it's going to be, I'm going to paint a terrier with boobs.
Yeah, because she writes about it. She's like, I decided to use my boyfriend's Boston Terrier as a subject because he's so cute. And she goes, and then I thought it would be fun to just put breasts on him. And I'm like,
just,
rad.
That's so cool. And those
if you're
random
just deciding
ideas.
that over your morning coffee and toast, like breasts on a dog.
I swear,
would be
that
great.
is living artistically, where you just keep yourself open to, you know, the possibilities.
Totally. So do you want some tips about how you can do velvet paintings? Because as you can imagine, it's quite different than painting on a regular canvas.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be hard to get good lines. But...
Well, first of all, you need to buy your velvet. And it specifically says to not use synthetic velvet. You want a natural fiber velvet. So like a cotton velvet or a silk velvet or a wool velvet. Something with natural fibers because the synthetic will not absorb the paint.
Oh, yeah.
Like the natural fibers will. So it'll kind of mat down the pile and make it flat and gross.
Right. Okay.
So you're going to spend a little extra money and get the natural fiber velvet. Don't use stretch velvet. Which I don't think natural fiber velvet would be stretch velvet. Like, I don't.
No.
Yeah. So, but just use regular.
I can't believe I didn't know that there was such a thing as natural fiber velvet. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, I thought.
Well, you probably didn't even think about it. You just thought
I just thought
velvet is velvet. And
I didn't even think about how they make it. Yeah, I don't even know. I guess that'll be in the fabric episode.
Oh my god, you totally reminded me we were going to do a fabric episode. I keep forgetting. My chair, I have an old Victorian chair downstairs that is a fucking awesome chair, you guys.
Okay.
It's one of my most prized possessions. It belonged to it came from my great-grandma to my mom to me, but it was my great-grandmother's mother. So my great-great-grandmother's, and it was shipped from Scotland around Cape Horn before the Panama Canal went through. It's over 100 years old, this chair.
Wow.
And it's wool velvet. And you can tell that because it is so fucking moth-eaten. Like, the moths have eaten the wool, and I have to reupholster it. It's looking pretty shabby. Because it was in storage for a while before it came to me from my mom's, and it was cold storage at the coast, cold, damp storage, and it's full of fucking moths.
Oh.
And for 2 years... that chair had a moth bloom every few months. I would have to I would tent it with a garbage bag and shoot that Raid makes a natural clove. It smells really heavy of clove. When I say natural, I mean it's still a chemical that's killing the fuck out of bugs. But it took about 2 years for me to completely kill off all the moths inside of it. Because it still has the original horsehair stuffing.
Oh, wow.
And all that. So, yeah. Anyway, that was a total sidebar. But I was just saying that it's a natural fiber. So, because velvet has been a thing for much longer than we've been making synthetic fibers. So, but again, you don't think of that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So, natural velvet, though.
Is it hard to find?
No, just go
Okay.
to your fabric store.
Okay.
Tell them you want natural fiber velvet. Like it probably, if you don't know this, but if you look at the end cap of your bolts of fabric, it's going to tell you exactly what it's made from. Like if it's a cotton poly blend or 100% cotton or whatever. So just read the cap and it'll tell you what it is. Natural velvets tend to have a more sturdy backing.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll feel a little heavier than your synthetics. So there's that. So you're going to get you can buy frames or stretch bars at most art stores.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think
I need to
Joann's
go-
carries them regularly,
Well,
but I know
need to go
Michael's
up to
does.
I've Been Framed.
I would avoid a frame store if I were you.
But that place is cheap. It's like an
Is
art
it cheap?
supply.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and I just...
They
'cause-
probably have those.
Yeah, like empty frame bar.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I know anywhere you go, like at Blick or any art supply store, will have frames that you can stretch
Have
your
you been
stuff
to that
on.
place up off Foster?
Mm-mm.
Oh, man.
I've Been Framed. Is that what it is? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't been in
It's
yet.
fun.
And we are going to do an episode in the near future about stretching your own canvases, because it's something that I think as an artist, if you're doing paintings, you should probably learn to do. I buy all mine pre-stretched because it's
Me
just
too.
quicker and easier for me to do. But it's nice to be able to know how to do it when you want to paint on something weird, like, or if you want to do a
Yeah.
velvet painting, because
Yeah.
you can't just go buy a velvet, all
Canvas,
pre-stretched
yeah.
velvet canvases to paint on. Like, they're not a thing. Lonnie and I have looked. We
Yeah.
tried to find some. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I bet you anything someone says, here they are. But, that's how
Yeah.
we learn, because people tell us you're wrong when we say stuff that's wrong. So you have your canvas, and you have your your velvet. It's stretched out on the stretchers or the frame. You're going to want to use high quality paints.
Oils?
Traditionally, velvet paintings are done in oil, but most artists that do them now use acrylic.
Okay.
Part of that is that you have to let it dry completely between layers.
Yeah.
And I'll get
oil
more
would
into
take
that. And
forever.
oil takes fucking forever
Yeah.
to dry. The disadvantage, of course, of acrylic paints, and we went over this in our paints episode a long time ago, is that oil paints are more heavily pigmented. They're brighter pigments. So it's harder to get brighter colors out of acrylic paints. That's why you need the higher qualities. I'm talking like goldens and even the basics, like just something with more pigment. You don't want to use
The craft
the
paint.
craft paints because
Okay.
they're far too diluted. They're going to be too wet, and they just are not as vibrantly colored as the more expensive paints.
Okay.
You don't have to break the bank, but
Yeah.
you need to invest in some better quality paint if you're going to do that.
And if you're just doing a ghost vagina, then you just need white. Just
Right,
kidding.
and-
Just kidding.
And glitter.
And glitter.
I would
Or
think there would be
pearl.
like a little pearlescence.
Yeah.
Maybe some blues and greens, like light pearlescent, just
That's
to
true.
shade. Come on, Lonnie, be more creative with the ghost vaginas. Ghosts have fancy vaginas.
That's true.
I wonder if you die, if you still have to have pubic hair.
I don't know.
Or if it's like a prize. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you're dead. You don't have to worry about this anymore.
No,
Bing,
yeah, you're
no
just
pubes.
a smooth, ethereal being or whatever that
Yeah,
word is.
right? Oh, I bet you ghost vaginas do that.
Yeah,
Like, you open your legs and they go, oh.
that's true. Yeah.
Lonnie and I are probably not as funny as we think we are. We think we're hilarious. So, yeah. So you are going to use a dry brush only on this. You don't wet your brush. You want to make sure you're
Yeah,
applying
okay.
paint with a dry brush.
Yeah, because it would run and stuff.
Yeah, and you want the velvet, the pile and the velvet to absorb paint, not water.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Because it would like spread, huh? It would like.
you don't want it to, and
Yeah.
you don't want to soak it down into the fabric. You can sketch what you want to paint very lightly in chalk.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I was like, how do you even know? Because I'm going to find the video again, because there is there's a video about him. They call him the last velvet painter in Tijuana. He is a very old man, and I was mesmerized last night by watching the video of him doing his painting. He just took a picture of a ram and looked at it and painted it. He did not sketch it on the fucking velvet.
So
he just
cool.
went at it, and it was amazing. And he is such a fucking cool old man.
Nice.
And it made me cry. I love...
Wow, yeah.
Like, this is what he's done all of his life. It's his passion. And he can do them quickly, but they're impressive. They're very impressive.
That's
Wildlife.
awesome.
He does wildlife paintings. He does like rams and tigers and lions and fucking majestic unicorns and shit.
Wow.
So I need a fucking unicorn velvet painting
I
on my
know.
wall. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I need.
Yeah.
Serious. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do one, Lonnie.
I know.
My
I know.
eyes twitching so hard right now because I'm so excited about it. So you can sketch it on with chalk first.
Okay.
And, like,
yeah, that makes
Sharpen
sense.
your chalk a little bit.
Mhm.
I would imagine that perhaps like because you have like for seamstresses, you can get the white chalk pencils.
Oh, yes.
Like that might be a little bit because you
Yeah.
can sharpen it. So, but you can just sketch it on there. Now, when you go to add color, you're leaving the black areas black because obviously
Right.
it's a black background and you're working towards the light. And this is the hard thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's very
it looks-
difficult for artists to wrap their brains around if you're not. And I actually want to talk about using
It's
black
kind of
canvases.
opposite. It's like negative.
Yes, exactly. When we
Okay.
work on white paper, we're adding color and shadow to something white. So when you're working on, God damn it, my spit filter is like,
It's having erectile dysfunction.
or my pop filter is all, it's having sads right now. Anyway, so what you're doing is completely opposite, and you have to make your brain look at it that way because you are bringing light and highlight out of the darkness.
Yes.
So you're
That makes it so exciting.
It does. It actually really excites me.
That gives me
can you tell I'm
goosebumps.
getting like
I know.
So you're starting at the depths and the shadows and you're working and you're building up to the lightest color and but by adding light.
Okay, so you start with your darkest colors.
Because you're working out from
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
you're going to, paint over the lines that you've sketched maybe, but you're all bringing it to light. Like you're making the highlights. And that I think is part of what gives velvet painting such a distinct look.
Yeah, because they almost
Because
glow.
they do. And it's because you're applying light to dark. There are people that have a really hard time wrapping their brains around working on a black substrate anyway. And like I said, we're going to talk about black canvases, black paper. We'll probably bring velvet paintings up again. As a matter of fact, for a few minutes, I considered saving this for when we do that episode. But I thought, you know what? No, black velvet painting is such a thing on its own that it deserved a whole episode to be talked about. Because I kind of want to shake the stigma of that off a little bit.
Yeah.
I still think it's a viable, interesting, beautiful art form, and not even in an ironic, weird, kitschy way.
Yeah.
I think they're beautiful paintings.
Yeah.
I have a hard time with art snobbery.
Yeah.
It irritates the fuck out of me. Not all mediums are for all people.
Right.
But just because, look, we can like different things, everybody.
Yeah.
We don't have to like all the same things. How fucking boring would it be if we all liked the same thing?
Right.
So don't be a dick about what somebody likes that you don't like. That's like the other day I was telling you when we were at lunch last week, an Everclear song came on the radio. What song was it again? It's
Santa
the only,
Monica
yeah, it's the only
or
one that I
something.
really like.
Yeah.
But Everclear is a Portland band. Like, yeah, that art guy's a little douchey.
Yep.
They're a little douchey, but I like that fucking song.
Yeah,
and
I like
I
that
don't
song,
believe
too.
in guilty fucking pleasures. I think you like what you like, and that's that. And you don't have to like what I like, and I don't have to like what you like. So I can like.
But
a
I don't
velvet
have to
painting.
make fun of you for
No,
what you
well,
like.
see, that's just it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a guilty. The only reason it's a guilty pleasure is because somebody else thinks it's shitty and makes
Yeah.
you feel like you should be ashamed.
Yes.
Like what you like just be passionate about what you like and live your life is too fucking short and
Yeah.
full of too much fucking sad shit. We're constantly bombarded by people getting shot here and people getting blown up there and fucking banks collapsing and the world just being shitty all over the place all the time. the only fucking chance at happiness that any of us have is to just fucking love what we love.
Right.
Without apology.
Yes. Yeah.
So I am banning guilty pleasures in my world. I don't believe in them anymore.
Nice.
And I'm not going to, and I'm preaching because I'm making an effort to not criticize or say, ew, unless you have clowns in your house. That's a totally different thing because I'm terrified of them. So.
But if the person likes clowns, they have the right to like clowns, but you don't have to like.
I just can't be your friend.
Yeah.
You can like the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make fun of you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go, bye. See you later. But no, really, I mean, if you like velvet paintings, it just irritates me that most of the research that I did on the internet was about velvet paintings. Did you see that? I said a booger, like a little flaky booger, and the fan hit me and it went poof right off the tip of my nose and flew. I don't even know where it went. A lot of it was like ironic. Like people, velvet paintings. Yeah. You guys are dicks. Snobby assholes. There is a very wonderful article about velvet paintings that talks a lot about Edgar Lateg in collectorsweekly.com, and I am going to link it because it was very interesting and it gives a lot of information about the history of velvet paintings and shows you a lot of examples of throughout from the early, like from the 40s and 50s on through current times. Mm-hmm. So if you want to see how that art has progressed and how that's all a little bit similar in ways.
Yeah. People aren't doing like really new stuff with it, are they? Or like,
well, some are beautiful portraits and some are a little bit kitschier.
Yeah.
Weird. During the Vietnam era, there were a lot of paintings that were war propaganda and stuff like that are pretty, because they got a little weird with their, I don't know, war propaganda has always fascinated me, but also weirded me out.
Yeah, it makes me sad.
Well, I studied that a lot in graphic design school because those are like really awesome examples of just advertising and how graphic design reaches out and touches people's emotions and can change, like art in general can be made to convey certain emotions. So like, World War I and World War II era art, we should do an episode on that.
Yeah.
Because they were like, you have the Victory Garden art and and some of them are really fucking highly offensive. I mean, it's no wonder that we had fucking Japanese internment camps because they were picturing Japanese as like evil little fucking demon people, like, so
yeah.
But it was the U.S. government's propaganda machine to like make its citizens do what it wanted to.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, during the Vietnam War, because the velvet paintings were kind of a thing, there was some interesting velvet artwork.
I wonder if there's like marijuana ones. I'm sure there is.
Oh, dude. Seriously? Are you fucking kidding me? I wonder if there's marijuana ones.
I know. Blacklight marijuana velvet
well,
paintings,
and also you have to think, from velvet paintings came those fucking awesome
posters,
cut velvet blacklight posters that we all loved to color in when we were kids. Like, I would fucking beg for those.
Yeah.
At the store, and they were not cheap. So
yeah.
I had a couple of little ones.
Never fucking lasted long enough to finish.
Never lasted long enough to finish. The motherfuckers.
Oh, they dry up.
Unless you got the little ones.
Yeah, the little ones. But the big ones, no.
Nope. Mm-hmm. No, and then you would finish it. But then I never had a blacklight.
Yeah.
Like, my mom and dad wouldn't buy me a blacklight when I was a kid. And
yeah.
So I actually, and then when you see yourself as a teenager in a blacklight and realize, oh, that's very unflattering.
Yeah, your glowing teeth.
Like, wait, I didn't know I had freckles there. Like,
yeah, my complexion. Yeah.
I have lint all over everything because, let's face it, nobody wears more black than a moody fucking teenager.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to wrap this shit up because we got other stuff to do today.
Okay.
Other stuff to talk about. But I think that you guys should all look at velvet paintings. Like, I think they're fun to try. I'm definitely going to try one. And when I do try one, we'll share it.
I know, I just got an idea. of like
she's gonna paint a ghost vagina.
Well, that too. But this maybe is a little simpler, like doing some kind of silhouette, cutting it out, and then getting like neon paints and going around it so that in a black light it would be, you know what I mean? Like
you could silhouette. Do that on your wall for like a Halloween art piece.
Yeah.
And use the black light, because that's when black lights are acceptable, is at Halloween time.
Oh, it's year round at my house.
I don't like black lights. Oh no, Halloween is year round anyway, but you know.
I have some, black light posters in my room.
Do you?
Yeah.
No, I was talking about painting, the velvet paintings, though.
Yeah.
No.
But I was thinking of a velvet painting that does glow in black light.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. And like just doing like a sky and then leaving the silhouette so that when it I don't know. Blah, blah, blah.
I can't see the inside of your brain right now.
Blah, 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 blah.
But I'm interested to see what you do. And I want to see what everybody else does.
Yeah.
Or if you've done velvet paintings. Like, give us your feedback. At the beginning of the show now, I just put a recording with all the ways that you can get a hold of us. So, because we always sometimes forget. So that's why I do it at the beginning of the show. But send us pictures of your velvet paintings if you do them.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking if people would start sending us more pictures of what they do, we could like put on our website a fan gallery.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Like just fan art with your name by it, and say that, and just have a gallery of cool shit that our listeners do.
Yeah,
that would be super fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, and one more thing. So this episode will air, and then actually, I think this is this week's episode. So this is the last week before our drawing. Like, this is it, guys. This is your last chance. If you want to win a Mod Podge starter pack, you follow us on Pinterest or you follow us on Twitter. And because we're going to do the drawing next week. So, and we'll just announce it. I want to reach the person who wins before we announce it, because obviously if you don't answer us or respond, then we're going to give it to somebody else.
Yeah, too bad, so sad.
So we'll announce the winner on our Facebook page when we know who it is, and that person, those people, the winners, because there are 2 winners, have been contacted. But we'll also talk about it in not next week's episode, but the episode after. Because we're recording next week's episode in like 3 minutes. So next week we'll be back talking about macrame. Another notoriously 70s kitschy, cool thing to do.
Kitschy and itchy.
Right? So until next week, go make some cool shit, yo.
Do it now.
Because I can't remember what we were going to say instead. We had a thing.
Oh, yeah.
But we forgot. So go make some shit.
Good morning, Katie. This is your friend. I'm recording on the new Tascam. I'm trying to figure out what the buttons do. But every once in a while, I take a break to poo.